He walks up. They're in the gate. And they're off. Skating Through Life is going to battle for the lead, but here's Cypress Moon faster, and Cypress Moon sprints a length clear. Spanish Car on the outside is in third, followed by Wicked Desire at the rail fourth. Tahiti Edie is 5 lengths off the lead. It's another couple back to slow starting Consider Her Lucky, and Way Too Sexy goes by her, moving up on the rail. Past a half mile, and it is Cypress Moon, the leader, a length and a half, tracked by Spanish Car as second. These two have separated themselves. It's 4 lengths back to Skating Through Life. Way Too Sexy trying to make progress inside Wicked Desire. Another 2 to Tahiti Edie and Consider Her Lucky. Heading to the quarter pole, and Cypress Moon still doing it nicely. And Cypress Moon turns for home with a 3-length lead. Spanish Cara is in second. At the rails, Skating Through Life makes headway, takes the second spot. Then Way Too Sexy, 16th to go. Cypress Moon by 3. Skating Through Life trying to close the gap. Cypress Moon keeps on going. Here's Skating Through Life, though. And Skating Through Life had the better stride late. Runs down Cypress Moon. Tahiti Edie finished with Good Energy third. Way Too Sexy fourth. Style Cat completes the line. We're in the gate, and they're off. It's a Factor, Silverado Storm, now a little bit quicker to take the lead. Panuco comes through on the inside. Style Cat moves up, claims second. And in between horses, it's One Smokin' Dude, just 3 lengths front to back. Silverado Storm, hard ridden for the lead, has it 3/4 of a length. Style Cat second. It's a Factor in between horses. Panuco at the rail, and One Smokin' Dude, still 3 lengths around the whole field. Into the far turn, 3 furlongs out. Silverado Storm carving out the fractions. Heavily favored Style Cat coming after him now within 3/4 of a length. These two have separated themselves as One Smokin' Dude puts his head into third. Down at the rail, Panuco past the quarter pole and turning for home, and Style Cat on the outside on even terms with Silverado Storm. Silverado Storm not done. He's fighting pretty bravely, and Silverado Storm just in front of Style Cat at the 8th pole, a half length. Style Cat all out trying to get by. Style Cat or Silverado Storm. Silverado Storm or Style Cat. Nose and nose. Here's the line. Silverado Storm turned him away. Style Cat second. Panuco a distant third. Complexity going up. In the gate. And they're off. 'Tis a Good Thing. Naismith is in the firing line through the opening stages. And now here's 49er Gold in the green colors going to battle with Naismith. Naismith just in front. 49er Gold alongside second. 'Tis a Good Thing, 3 deep, 2 off them in third. Simplexity is up close, just 3 lengths off the lead. Followed at the rail by Every Day is Saturday. Smooth Salute in the red is next. Fifth Street, who did not have a quick beginning, is moving up on the outside of Neshoba's Joy. And Cody Boy is at the back of the field. Just 8 lengths covers them into the far turn. 49er Gold and Naismith are stride for stride. 'Tis a Good Thing just off the top pair. Third, Simplexity's made it over to the rail fourth. Then Smooth Salute and Fifth Street on the outside will have to go 4 wide, but within 2 lengths of the pace. Down at the rail, Every Day is Saturday, followed by Neshoba's Joy and Cody Boy. Wide open at the top of the stretch. Naismith in between horses. At the rail, 49er Gold. Perfect trip for 'Tis a Good Thing. Just behind them, Simplexity trying to angle to their outside. And outside of him comes Smooth Salute. Here's 'Tis a Good Thing. Simplexity is taking off in the final stages. 'Tis a Good Thing just in front. Photo finish. It's very close. Simplexity came right at 'Tis a Good Thing. Those two hit the wire together. 49er Gold, a close third. 26 minutes. In the gate. And they're off. Bruckner gets the first call. Nightbird, it's okay. Ignatowski in between horses. They're joined by Jazz Spot down toward the inside. Here's Crone Zone racing in fifth on the inside of Cyber Smart. That pair followed by Factory Drive. Down at the rail, Audible Silence, and Fighting Ring is far back early. Down the backstretch, Nightbird, it's okay, narrowly in front. On the outside, Bruckner presses second. They've pulled 3 lengths clear of Ignatowski and Jazz Spot right together. Crone Zone, Factory Drive, 8 off the lead. 2 clear of Audible Silence, Cyber Smart, and Fighting Ring continues to trail. They're coming toward the quarter pole. Bruckner takes the lead away from Nightbird. It's okay. Ignatowski 3 off the pace in third. They're followed by Jazz Spot, Factory Drive, Audible Silence switches to the outside. They're coming to the 8th pole, and Bruckner has built up a 5-length lead. Ignatowski is clearly second. A belated rally from Factory Drive in third. Lights out for Bruckner. Far too good for this field. And Bruckner strolls in under Armando Aguilar, reporting home more than 6 in front. Ignatowski second, Factory Drive third, tight for fourth. Either Audible Silence or Jazz Spot. Still acting up. And they're off. Fast start for Soho. Miss Mandalay has plenty of early gas, and prancing through Paris is in between those two. Ashley comes away in fourth. She's followed by Anjin Ash, who's 6 lengths off the lead. Then Shin Jadai on the outside of Queen Maxima, 2 lengths clear of Report. Lovin' on the run, and Rascality, after misbehaving in the gate, is last. Less than a half mile to go, and it's Miss Mandalay who's opened up a 4-length lead. Prancing through Paris is in second. Soho Orange Sleeves far outside. Then it's Ashley in fourth, and Janash fifth. At the rail, Queen Maxima is 7 lengths off the leader. Outside of her, Shin Jadai, Report trying to pass some rivals. Then Lovin' on the run and Rascality. They pass the quarter pole, and Miss Mandalay goes on with it. Leads it by 3 lengths to Soho, who's clearly in second. Shin Jadai on the far outside is starting to close. Center of the course, Report. Queen Maxima coming alive with big strides late. Past the 16th. Miss Mandalay getting weary. Here's Soho, and a huge run from Queen Maxima. Look at those enormous strides getting up to run down Soho. Photo for third went to Anjin Ash. It's another photo, Shin Jadai and a tiring Miss Mandalay. In the gate. And they're off. Eagles Dare, last call, Paul. Pratchett in between them moves up to take second. Seattle Surf is coming through along the inside, now third. Get Your Six is racing in between horses, followed by Hermelinda's Fancy. The 2 trailers, American Renegade and Last Paul Call, who broke well. And then it's a huge gap. No early speed for Going Nowhere. Past the half-mile pole, Seattle Surf pressed by Pratchett. Eagles Dare 3 wide. Got You 6 down at the rail is racing in fourth. Then comes Hermelinda's Fancy in fifth. 5 lengths off the lead. 2 clear of American Renegade. Last Call Paul moving through on the inside. A long way to Going Nowhere. Pratchett takes the lead away from Seattle Surf very easily. Opens up 2 at the top of the stretch. Eagles Dare takes up the chase in second. Last Call Paul is rallying on the outside of Got Your Six. They're in the final 1/8 of a mile, and it's Pratchett with a 3-length lead on Eagles Dare. Last Paul Call belatedly is American Renegade past the 16th pole, and Pratchett is too good. Handridden by Armando Ayuso, Pratchett wins easily. Almost 4 lengths. Eagles Dare, Last Call Paul, going nowhere, who was absolutely nowhere throughout, rallied into 4th. Precision acting up a touch. And they're off in the Eddie Logan. Artislas broke inward, but did break alertly. FOMO Joe is a little bit quicker and is up to take the lead. Sabretooth comes through, and here's Tiz Happy up to engage FOMO Joe into the first turn. Artislas is racing on the outside of horses, and in between those two, King of Dragons, who's hard-held and very eager, throwing his head around, is King of Dragons, only 2.5 lengths off the lead. Precision is second to last, and Cano for the win at the back of a compact group. They move on to the backstretch with FOMO Joe leading the way by a half length. Tiz Happy second, the pace understandably moderate. With Artislas in the clear while 3 wide third. At the rails, Sabretooth is in fourth. King of Dragons continues to be very hard to handle. He's tugging in between horses in traffic and almost clipping heels. And in the meantime, Frankie Dettori just pushes the gas pedal on Precision, and Precision sprints all the way up to tackle FOMO Joe. So it's FOMO Joe in front, Precision now suddenly second, Sabretooth third, Artislas in fourth, King of Dragons fifth, 5 lengths off the lead. Tiz Happy is backed out of it, passed now by Cano for the win. They're coming to the quarter pole. FOMO Joe, Artislas gearing up on the outside. Precision is in between those two. Then Sabretooth, King of Dragons, white blinkers far outside. They're at the top of the lane, and Artislas is cut loose alongside FOMO Joe, who's battling bravely, but Artislas takes the lead. FOMO Joe, very, very game along the inside. Artislas, FOMO Joe come for the wire together. It's going to be Artislas in a narrow victory over FOMO Joe. Sabretooth finished third. Cano for the win was fourth. This is 8 and 9. 15% takeout on the late double. 22 minutes to post. Now we're set. And they're off. Carol's Comic began alertly in the center. Thales has a little bit more early speed, and they're joined by Duty First, and Duty First takes over. Mega Moon is up and on the pace, just 2 lengths off them. Tequila Talkin', Gustoso is racing one from the rail. Deo's on the far outside. Carol's Comic together with Stay on the Fence, no more than 4 lengths front to back. But it is Duty First and Tiago Pereira calling the shots into the far turn. 3/4 of a length to Mega Moon in second. These two have separated, 3 clear. Tequila Talkin' and Thales are right together, third and fourth. Carol's Comic making some headway in fifth, 5 lengths off the lead. Stay on the Fence is down at the rail. Then comes Deo and Gustoso. Past the quarter pole and turning for home, Mega Moon putting the pressure on Duty First. Mega Moon has his head in front coming to the 8th pole. Duty First comes right back. These two have dominated. Tequila Talkin', Carol's Comic are next, a 16th to go, and Duty First has something left, digging in a half length. Mega Moon will try him one more time. It's Duty First. Duty First, too good. Mega Moon did his best, had to settle for second. Carol's Comic and oncoming third. Tequila Talkin' was fourth. We're in the gate. And they're off. Very awkward start for Take Another Card, who's far back early. It's a quick beginning for We the Hobby. We the Hobby is vying for the early lead through the opening stages. Right up alongside is Odie's Memory Lane. Those two are head and head down the back stretch. It's a gap of 3. Sassafran gets a good spot tracking those two. 4 more lengths. Take Another Card is trying to rush into contention after that rough beginning. And Omen Joy is next, racing 3 lengths in front of Lady Mendelssohn. Hula Prancer right next to that rival. A gap of 4 to the 2 trailers, Big Whoosh and Maga Kai at the back of a very strung out field. It's We the Hobby and Odie's Memory Lane. 2.5 more back to Sassafran, and Take Another Card on the outside moves into third. Take Another Card has made steady headway, angles out at the top of the stretch, coming after We the Hobby. We the Hobby, Take Another Card. What a huge effort from Take Another Card. Handwritten, gets a little crack and puts away We the Hobby and Sassafran along with Odie's Memory Lane. It will be Take Another Card in an eye-catching W. Second to We the Hobby. Third went to Omen Joy, and then it was a battle for fourth involving Odie's Memory Lane, and Big Whoosh started picking it up late. Prices are posted. The $3 late pick 3 pays $12.30. As the rock band so famously sang U2, nothing ever changes on New Year's Day. But you know what? That's not true in the thoroughbred industry. Happy birthday to all our equine athletes. That's right. January 1st, the universal birthday for equines. And of course, Happy New Year to each and every one of you. If you've got any resolutions, maybe like getting more energetic or staying more positive, I've got the perfect role model for you today. He's our seminar guest. His name, George Ortuzar. George, Happy New Year. Well, welcome to the seminar.
Pleasure to be here as always, TQ.
It's great to have you here. Now, we've got a lot going on track. Not only do we have 9 races, but we've also got Dollar Day. Talk to us about Dollar Day.
Yeah, I love Dollar Day promotion. We got it today and then again on January 20th. So it's a dollar beers.
Which is Monday, Martin Luther King Day.
Martin Luther King, January 20th. And so it's dollar beers, dollar sodas, $2 hot dogs. I'm going to have 2 or 3 of those at least. So it's going to be a phenomenal day.
You know, before we look forward, George, I just want to look backwards on week number 1. Of course, today marks starts week number 2, I should say. And last week, the first 4 days of the meet, we had 39 races. Do you know that $50.4 million was wagered on those 39 races? An enthusiastic embrace of the start of the Classic Winter Meet here at St. Anita by all the horse players around the country.
It was a stellar opening weekend, really. The opening day was phenomenal. It lived up to everything. We had the stars that came through. We had Pratt breaking the record. We had Lafitte, the living legend, Hall of Fame. It was just a spectacular day, and you walked around. The atmosphere was so phenomenal. It was just one of the best opening days. I can't remember a better opening day. It was fantastic.
And you know, the gambling was good too, right?
Yes.
If you got the product, then the people are going to show up. And I don't know if you had a chance to look at this upcoming Sunday's card. We've got a 10-race card on Sunday starting at 11:30 a.m. 92 horses on the 10-race card. So if you've got big fields and competitive racing, of course, the horse players are going to embrace it, which they did week 1, and I expect them to do in week 2.
Really, hats off to our phenomenal racing department. They did such a great job. Stellar. Like, the entries have been great. They've been strong. We're looking for bigger fields in 2025. The new year is really starting with a lot of optimism.
And the $2 pick 6 was all 6 stakes races on opening day. And of course, one winning ticket on Friday last week paid $61,000, bought for $600 at expressbet.com. Of course, the New Year's begs the question, do you have any resolutions? Is it to become a better handicapper? Is it to be, more positive? And if that's even possible, what are some of your resolutions?
One of my resolutions, I've got a few things I'm looking for, but one of them is betting more to win. A lot of times I like a horse, I don't bet him to win, I start using exotics, and I end up losing, and my horse wins.
Because you're playing daily doubles, exactas, pick 3s, all of a sudden you let a 5-1 go by the wayside,
100%.
And you got nothing to show for it.
So one of my New Year's resolutions is to certainly try to bet more to win than I normally do. So that's one of them. And to be thankful, just being here in 2025, it's just great.
Right? As you get older, you have to be thankful. A lot of things to be
thankful. I'm thankful. I'm not saying it's just to blow smoke at you. I'm thankful for you and all you've done in this industry. Really phenomenal job throughout your career to promote this phenomenal industry.
George, but it's everybody behind the scenes as well. Of course, I can sit up here and BS the best with anybody, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes that make it look good. And so it's a labor of love, right? And when you come to work, it doesn't feel like you're coming to work, and it's an honor to represent Santa Anita.
It's really an honor, and then wherever I go, I with great pride, I say, I work at Santa Anita with great pride.
George, let me ask you about Thorograph, because that's really the backbone of your handicapping, and we've talked about this on previous seminars. But why do you embrace Thorograph so religiously compared to other aspects of handicapping?
Well, I love the fact that not everybody has it, so you have a little bit of an edge over people who don't have it, and everybody's got the buyer numbers, which are phenomenal. But, it struck me when I was first getting into the Thorograph number, if 2 runners tie a dead heat at the wire, they get the exact same buyer number. However, if one of them was like 6 wide and that horse obviously ran faster than the inside horse.
Covered a lot more ground.
And Thorograph takes that into account along with other factors. So that was an outstanding factor for me. And then again, the fact that, like when the buyer numbers were in the racing post
or racing times.
So that was like, wow, not a lot of people have this. So you have to try to find an edge. It's hard to find an edge nowadays because there's so much information available. Like Andy Harrington, I love his workout report. He's got a phenomenal workout report. And so you try to find edges.
XBTV.com.
XBTV, you get all the free workouts for free. That's a huge, you didn't have that back in the day. It's amazing. amazing. It's so phenomenal. And we're going to see some workout replays here today, courtesy of XBTV.
We are, as a matter of fact. And speaking about replays, you'll remember this, George, because you were basically the director of publicity at Hollywood Park. You and I are both old enough to remember that way back when, in order to watch race replays, you had to go to a video booth at the track, pick up the phone, call a person to put in the proper cassette. I want to watch the 6th replay on December 14th. Yes. They had to dial it up. You remember that, right?
I mean, of course, I remember that.
I don't have a New Year's Eve hangover. That was the fun fact. The technology, though, let's face it, technology has really improved within the last 10 to 20 years.
Yeah, with the race replays. Another piece of technology that I think is instrumental that maybe a lot of people don't take it for granted is the drone shots. Boy, you really see a different aspect.
Stewards have even incorporated it.
Stewards, so important.
Correct. Amazing. Were you out here this morning watching the workouts, George? What time do you get to the track? I know what time the clockers get to the track, but I mean, you put in a full day, you walk around. How many steps do you do a day? Let's get to that question.
I do a lot of steps. I have the steps thing, but yesterday, I write in the program for free, with my picks.
And also online.
Ran online. And so for January 5th, I was all night last night studying and typing and getting it out. So I didn't get out here this morning early because I was up very late last night handicapping January 5th and an excellent card as well on, as you mentioned, on Sunday. And don't forget, just to remind you said it, but Saturday and Sunday, because we have 10 races and the fields are so juicy, post time is 11:30. Both days, so just remember to come here early.
We're going to let George get a sip of water and regain his breath and also his voice. That's critical and important because he's looked at today's 9-race card. He's going to tell us who he likes, primarily from a thoroughgraph standpoint. Before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the New Year's Day changes here at the Great Race Place.
Happy New Year and welcome to Santa Anita Park. It's Dollar Day today. Dollar beers and sodas, $2 hot dogs. The track is fast, turf firm, rail on the turf at 20 feet. Here are the early changes, not many of them. In the first, we have the blinker note only. Early pick 5 starts with race 1. In race 2, there are no program changes. No changes in the third. The $2 pick 6 kicks off with race number 4, and there are no changes. We have an all-turf pick 3 with a 15% takeout, starting with the 5th. Also, the late pick 5 starts here. In this race, number 9, Neon Lights make the jockey Edwin Maldonado. Edwin Maldonado on number 9. Race 6, scratch 3, Talent for Gold. Race 6, take out the 3. In the 7th, we have the late pick 3. 15% takeout. No changes. 8th race starts the late double. No changes. A $5 wager, 15% takeout. And the only super high 5 takes place in race 9. Couple of blinker notes. Enjoy your day as we kick off 2025 at the Great Race Place. They'll be at the gate for the opener in 59 minutes with a 12 noon post time. Back to Quigley's Corner we go, where Tom's special guest is George Ortuzar.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with George Ortuzar. He does many things here at St. Anita, including his selections on a daily basis at the santanita.com website. He's also the Hispanic ambassador. You'll see him floating around the facility. And George, before we came on air, actually last night when I was thinking about today's seminar, I was just thinking not only are we fortunate to represent St. Anita, but just think about a patron that comes out for a day at the races, how many options he or she has. As an example, you can spend a lot of time in the paddock. You can go to Sarona's, you can go to Front Running, you can go to the gift shop, you can go to Silks. I mean, it's a full day when you come to the racetrack. We occupy 300 acres, including the barn area on the backside. But people are, their breath is taken away when they come to visit St. Anita because they don't expect that many options.
Yeah, a lot of times I'm put in charge of groups and so forth, and it's amazing how many people who've never been to the racetrack
They don't even know it exists.
They're stunned that it's such an interesting day. It's a fun day. The horses are magnificent. So many things to do. So many options to eat. The corned beef sandwich here. It's corned beef. I mean, that's good corned beef. But it's just there's so many things to do, and they leave with a sense of, wow, I can't believe I've never been here before, and I got to come again because it is so many things to do, so much fun, and it's really a wonderful day full of pageantry, and it's just wonderful.
If you're watching from out of town or out of state, make a New Year's resolution for yourself. Come visit us here at St. Anita. You won't be disappointed. It's a fun day. It's a fun weekend. Certainly plenty of options around nearby as well if any of your significant others don't want to spend the full day at the racetrack. All right, George, let's kick things off in race number 1, which of course starts the popular 50-cent early pick 5. As we heard Frank Miramati say, the turf rails today are at 20 feet, and the first race is on the turf course. 1 mile is the distance for maiden special weight Calbred fillies and mares. We've got a field of 7. The original morning line favorite was number 2, Lead Away at 9-5, but the current betting choice at 8-5 is number 5, Benster from the Simon Callahan barn. Before we get your thoughts on the race, both Lead Away and Benster actually exit the same race. This race was down at Del Mar back in November. Specifically, it was run on November 9th. It was the very first race on that particular day. Both Gioro, who's the one in this race, Benster, as well as number number 2, Lead Away. Sorry, Gioro, Lead Away, and Benster all exit this race on November 9th. Ironically, they're going to break next to each other in this replay we're about to watch. They break from post positions 4, 5, and 6. You'll notice number 5, Lead Away, covers the most ground. But let's listen to Larry Comas describe the action back on November 9th and watch Gioro, Lead Away, and Benster perform in that particular race.
They're off. Gioro had the best beginning. Breezy Blue has speed to the inside and grabs the front. Then Miss Will from the rail moving up into second. Tom Starr goes up a spot into third. Gioro back to fourth after a good beginning. Then Benster and Lead Away. So they race for that first turn, and Breezy Blue establishes early command here, leading Miss Will by 2 lengths. Tom Starr is third, and then a 3-wide trip for Gioro in fourth. Break of 2 to a ground-saving Benster. Lead Away trails 6 off the lead. 23.59 was the opening quarter as they race onto the backstretch. Hector Barrios and Breezy Blue the leader. Umberto Rispi keeping Miss Will close up, a half length behind, running along in second. Then to the outside comes Gioro in third. Tom Starr is in behind horses. Benster sneaks through on her inside, and then Lead Away the trailer. Just 4 lengths from top to bottom as they continue their journey up the backstretch through a 49.19 half mile. Breezy Blue so far, still on top a half a length. Miss Will second to the outside. And now it's a length advantage for Breezy Blue, who's getting away a bit. Umberto Rispoli pumping on Miss Will for more run, and now she's a half length behind again, and she's drawing up alongside. Gioro is 3 deep in third, and suddenly Miss Will has gone by Breezy Blue at the top of the stretch. Miss Will to the front. Breezy Blue gives way on the rail. Then comes Gioro, and splitting horses late. Benster is on the move. It's Miss Will to catch in deep stretch from Gioro and Benster, who dives to the inside. Then Breezy Blue trying to fight on fourth, down to the wire. Miss Will does it. And then
George Benster, who wore number 6 saddlecloth in that particular replay we just watched, finished a good second. Best of that trio we watched at odds of 25-1 was trained by Ben Cecil for that particular performance. Unfortunately, Ben, as we well know, and we honored his memory on opening weekend, passed away from a courageous battle with cancer. He's going to be the sentimental favorite and, of course, is the current betting choice. Give us your thoughts on race 1.
Well, here's a case where the third graph numbers come into play, whereas Benster, even though it came in second, beat the other two. The other two got better third graph numbers than Benson because of their trip. They were both wide trips, and so Benson sat a perfect trip from that outside post, went immediately to the rail, saved ground on both turns. So, I mean, he's certainly the talented, and he's one of my top picks. But my top pick is going to be Lead Away, because I love the way Lead Away came on late there. I don't know if you saw he came on late, very strong. He was wide, in that last turn. It was pushed out wide, and even broke a step slower than the rest of them. So I think Lead Away is going to turn the tables on Benster, who certainly is going to run well, is one of my top picks, and Gioro. Those three I think they're the best in the race, but I'm going with Lead Away to try to turn the tables on Benster.
2 and 5 in race number 1. So says our seminar guest, George. It's interesting. Race number 1 could be a jockey's race as you look through the past performances. Not a whole lot of early speed. We'll see who takes the lead and what type of fractions they can carve out early. Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4. We're spreading 6 furlongs on the main track. It's a starter optional claiming race for 3-year-old fillies. We've got a field of 7. Take note now that today is every horse's universal birthday. Those horses that turn 3 can add Lasix, and as you can see, 6 of these 7 are going to be first-time Lasix, including the Maury Line favorite number 4, Oveda's Hobby from the John Sadler barn. Very dominating in victory last time out of Los Alamitos. You expect another repeat performance today, George?
Yeah, that was a breakout performance. Ran a thoroughgraph number that would crush these. Just absolutely, towers over the field that last race. Plus, he gets Lasix. And, don't underestimate, especially in pick 5s and pick 6s, because people say, oh, he's 3 to 5. But if you can catch a couple of other ones that are a little bit of a bomb, it's fine. I bet a pick 6 on opening day, and I had 3 singles and then spread.
Was one of your spread races the Mandela, where she won the La Brea? Copian?
Yes, but I didn't have Copian. But here's my point: is the 3 singles, they all won, and I lost all the 3 spread races. So,
and the pick 6 still paid $9,000 on opening day, even with that chalk winning.
So don't underestimate, just because he's 3 to 5, still worth a play, especially in the multi-race bets. But if Oveda's Hobby repeats that last race, and even if she bounces a little bit, he's still going to win the race. So I like the 4 over the 3. Iconic Memory, who came in with a beat workout, a wonderful workout on December 23rd. So Iconic Memory will be my second choice.
Start number 3, we're back on the turf course, back traveling a mile on the turf course. Starter optional claiming race for fillies and mares. Field of 7, number 4, Miss Brightside from the Field of Motto barn is the 2-1 Maury Line favorite. Talk to us about race 3, George.
Well, Phil D'Amato, I call him the Sultan of Sod because he just does so well on grass races. He's just phenomenal, especially with imports. He does magnificent. But this one is clearly better. She has better numbers, thoroughgraph numbers, than the rest of the field on a consistent basis. Her last 4 thoroughgraph numbers were better than any other thoroughgraph numbers. Plus, she gets Rispoli, and he is just a phenomenal turf rider. I mean, I'm sure he's a good turf rider all around, but he excels on the turf. Add to that a couple of beat workouts from Andy Harrington, and it looks bright for Ms. Brightside to be getting her picture taken after the race. Blue Oasis also has a nice beat workout. Tinyak team, couple of 13s paired. She just paired her top number, and a lot of times that leads to a better performance. So I'm expecting a good performance from Blue Oasis number 2.
Race number 4, we're still traveling 1 mile this time on the main track, and race 4 also begins the $2 pick 6. Race 4 is for fillies and mares, in for a $16,000 tag. We've got a good field of 7. Number 3, Love Our Family, is the 8 to 5 morning line favorite. Is your family spread out all around North America, Georgia? You got some here in Southern California and some in South Florida. I mean, I know holidays are always a time to get together with family. Where's your family located?
Yeah, they're all over there in South Florida. I got a lot of family in South Florida. My daughter is in Boston. She's in Boston. My other daughter is in Las Vegas. We got family here, so spread all over the place. But we got a big
family. All those cats together at any one point in time, right?
Yeah, but it's fun. You got to make a lot of phone calls on Happy New Year, Happy New Year at 9 o'clock, Happy New Year at 12 o'clock, Happy New Year.
Well, I know you love your family. Is Love Our Family going to be the winner of race 4? You looking elsewhere?
No, I'm going with Love Our Family. Gets first time Pratt. That's such a good angle over the last few years. First time Pratt's a difference maker, and we've seen it last year. You've seen it throughout the year. He's just cool, calm, and collected, as Zoe says, and he always puts the horses in the right spot. He's one of the best I've ever seen So he gets first time on this one. Steve Knapp is hot. I respect Steve Knapp a lot. And the Thoroughgraph numbers are very, very strong, except for the last one. So, throw that one out. Everyone is entitled to a bad day, but she has excellent Thoroughgraph numbers, and she's going to be my top pick for sure. My second pick is the only one that's not getting who's going to be way on the outside, Victor Trujillo, and comes in from Pleasanton. And I love to see that we're getting a lot of horses from Pleasanton. Man, that's really positive.
5 of the 7 in this particular race, George, are coming out of a race in Pleasanton, including the one you just mentioned, number 7, Smile Baby Smile. She's interesting. Here's the reason why, if you're looking at the past performances, forgetting about her numbers for a minute. When she ran into December 7th, she was a 3-year-old filly. Take a look at the task that she did. She ran against the boys in a $20,000 claimer, non-winners of 2 races lifetime, and actually earned the best last race by her speed figure. So it's interesting. Victor Trujillo brings her down here. I think she's going to be competitive in this field, despite drawing the outside post. And as you mentioned, Love Our Family and Smile Baby Smile seem to me to be the 2 main contenders. Also, one additional comment on Love Our Family. George talked about how Flavien Prat is a magician. Well, he's a magician on any horses he rides for Steve Knapp as well. Over the last 2 years, they've only done it 4 times. He's hit the winner's circle 2 times for a 50% win clip. Race number 5 begins the 50-cent late pick 5. Also the $3 all-turf pick 3 with a low 15% takeout. One change here, it's a jockey change. Make the jockey in number 9, Neon Lights, Edwin Maldonado. We've got a field of 9 in number 4, Jewel Chalea from the Michael McCarthy barn. 5-2 on the morning line, traveling 1 mile on the turf. Starter allowance, Reese Boley in the saddle. Give us your thoughts on race 5, George.
Did I mention that I think that Pratt is a difference maker, and Pratt is first time Pratt on number 7, Zalamo, and it's the French connection. It's Leo Powell and Flavien Prat. And when Leo goes to Flavien, they're usually incredibly live. Has by far the best Thoroughgraph numbers in the race. Consistently runs strong Thoroughgraph numbers, and now comes in with 2 B workouts. The December 19th workout, a really good comment from Andy Harrington, was an excellent work. And if you see it, it's 6 best of 11, so maybe it doesn't catch the eye. But if it was good enough to catch Andy's eye, that's good enough for me. So Zalamo, and I think of Talamo, for whatever reason when I say
he's a TV broadcaster now.
Yeah, he's a TV broadcaster. And I like that one. And Jewel Shillelagh is going to be my second pick. Also strong numbers, and it's got Rispoli. So you got the 2 best turf riders in that race going at it 1 mile on the turf.
Race number 6, we're traveling 6 furlongs on the main track for starter optional claiming types. Fillies and mares, scratch the 3, Talent for Gold, leaves us with a field of 7. Race 6 also begins the 50-cent late pick 4. Morning line favorite number 2, Joblin Joni, 3-5 on the morning line, went to Churchill Downs, dominated, looks to tower over this field, likely single on many players, multi-race exotic tickets. Talk to us about race 6, George.
Again, don't be scared to single 3 to 5 shots, because Jubilant Joni on Thoroughgraph numbers, absolutely head and shoulders above the rest of the field. None of them are even close. And it wasn't just one number. Sometimes you're scared of a one number runner, sort of like, Oveda's Hobby in the second has just one good number. So it's a little bit scary. Jubilant Joni, it's, number after number, ran 6, a 7, a 6, a 7. The lower the number, the better. The other runners in this race, 15, 13, 17, not even close. She's got the Candyman aboard. He's great with runners with speed, and this mare has an abundance of speed, great workouts, great Thoroughgraph numbers. A single for me in every multi-race bet.
It's interesting. Jubilant Joni, once she came to Southern California, there was certainly plenty of interest in her at the claim box. When she debuted on August 8th at Del Mar, there were 10 claims in for $8,000. When Steve Sherman bumped her up to $20,000, there were still 6 trainers at the claim box. Wow. Jeff Mullins won that particular shake, and you can see since claiming her last 2 races, she has not been eligible to be claimed, including today's 6th race. Race number 7 begins the popular $3 late pick 3 with once again a reduced 15% takeout. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the turf course. For Calbred, fillies and mares, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. Field of 9, number 7, Lady Gregory from the aforementioned Jeff Mullins barn is the 3-1 morning line favorite. You talk about Reese Boley doing well on the turf. What about Hector Barrios? He's a magician on the turf course as well.
Was the Sunday he ran
when he dove down on the rail?
He dove to the inside. Yeah. He's a master. He's really, really, really good. And I have to say, when he first came here, it took me by surprise. You know, I wasn't expecting great
And he
things
ran
from him.
South Florida for a while, and he was a little bit of an obscure rider.
Obscure, but boy, he got here, and he immediately made you take notice because he is very, very talented, and he shows it day in and day out. He's not a
flash in the pan.
Flash in the pan. Yeah, he's really, really good, and he certainly should do good for this one. That comes in here from Pleasanton as well. So Lady Gregory is going to do well. Comes in actually with the best last race thoroughgraph number. So certainly is one of the ones, but that was earned on the dirt. So it's got to prove on the grass, even though has won really a win on the turf, only one race and a win. So Lady Gregory's my second choice. Should be right there. Jeff Mullins, a wonderful trainer. But I like Proof She Zips, and I think Proof She Zips is the one to beat, but a very competitive race. So those two are my top picks.
Race number 8, we begin the $5 late daily double, also with a reduced 15% takeout. This is for Calbred Maidens, 3-year-olds, 5.5 furlongs on the main track. We've got a field of 8. Number 6, Let Me In, is the 5-2 Maury Lane favorite. George, before we get your thoughts on the race, since this is a maiden race with lots of first-time starters, wanted to show some workouts, courtesy of our friends at xbtv.com. We'll go in post position number order. Let's first start with Berlin Wall, who we're going to watch right now in a team drill right here at San Ita on December 11th. Berlin Wall is on the outside. What I want you to pay close attention to is not only Berlin Wall's workout, but take a look at Blue Cheese Olive on the inside. First of all, I might outweigh the exercise rider on Blue Cheese Olive. You can see he's wrestling with this particular horse. Blue Cheese Olive is also a tenant of the Steve Knapp barn. Claimed back in February. We haven't seen him since then, but I'll tell you what, based off this workout, you can see this horse is full of run, and the exercise rider is wrestling with him. Meanwhile, Berlin Wall on the outside can't really get by him, but keep in mind, he's going to be a first-time starter breaking from the rail. I don't think it's a bad workout, but what I do want to point out is I do think we should add Blue Cheese Olive to our stable mail, because whenever he appears, I want to watch his succession of work since this particular date on December 11th and see if he's continued to improve. Because watch right now, the exercise rider looks over at Berlin Wall and almost looks like he's taunting him. Like, are you going to go by me, or what's going on here? Like he's taunting him, and of course he can never go by. There's still plenty of run left with Blue Cheese Olive, but Berlin Wall still works well for a first-time starter. Very, very good workout. Certainly can't be dismissed at big odds of 10-1. Also, the next workout we want to watch is for the first-time starter, number two, Chasing Rider. This is from the gate back on December 9th. It's going to be a solo workout. And one thing you'll notice is Chasing Rider has a lot of early speed. And you'll be able to tell that just by the speed of the camera when they're whizzing by horses right here, and you can look at the rail and the half-mile pole. You can just tell this horse has a lot of early speed, and that shouldn't be a surprise, being a son of Straight Fire. Straight Fire had a lot of early speed in his brief but illustrious career, and certainly Chasing Rider down inside, I believe, is going to show a lot of early speed. In the racing form, it makes it appear as if Jeff Mullins does well with first-time starters, but I'll tell you this, courtesy of DRF Formulator, I looked up Jeff Mullins' statistics for the last 5 years. He's just 8 for 77 with his first-time starter, so roughly 10%. Not to say Chasing Rider can't win today, because he's got early speed, always an important commodity, and right here he's slowing down, but the work was only 4 furlongs anyway. But nevertheless, I think Chasing Rider has a lot of early speed and certainly is one of many contenders. The final workout we want to show, George, is number 6, Let Me In. Let Me In is going to be first-time Lasix, and that's him, Let Me In on the outside. The importance of this work is who the workmate is going to be. The workmate is a runner by the name of Satellite Heart, as you can see on the screen. Satellite Heart resides in the George Papapadromo barn, and on Breeders' Cup weekend, Satellite Heart in race number 9 on November 3rd won a Calbred non-winners of one other than. So Let Me In is working with an allowance optional claiming horse right now, and more than holding his own, particularly as they enter the stretcher. Watch how wide Let Me In gets off the inside rail. Satellite Heart has the dream trip up the rail, and they basically work nose and nose all the way down to the wire. I thought this was an exceptional work for just a horse who's making career start number 3. The Red Heart Mark Glatt trains Let Me In last time out, finished well clear a third. Of those 3 works, George, I respect all 3, but I got to say that I thought Let Me In's was the best. That's what the videotape shows based upon workouts. What do your thoroughgraph numbers on your other analysis say for race number 8?
All right, before I go into that, I'm really excited, and I mean we had a taste of it last year, but of all these phenomenal wagering bets that we have here, like you mentioned, This starts the $5 late daily double with the low takeout. That's not to be understated. That's important.
All 4 wagers: the $3 all turf pick 3, the $3 all turf pick 3, the $5 late daily double, and one other wager. I can't remember.
The late pick 3.
Exactly. The regular late pick 3. The regular late pick 3. All 15% takeout. So you've got a higher minimum, lower takeout. You got to sharpen your handicapping, and we've seen it already just in the first 4 days of the meet. The payoffs are going to increase because it's expensive to wager on those wagers. But if you're right, you're going to get a great payout.
Yeah, great payouts. Another one that is consistently gives us great payouts is the Coast to Coast Pick 5 on weekends.
Saturdays and Sundays.
Oh man, that one, even I think this Sunday or Saturday was relatively favored. Still paid really well.
I think $4,000 off the top of my head.
I mean, we got some wonderful wagers coming up. The $2 Pick 6. Well received that we've come back to the traditional WBC. So all these wagering opportunities are just stellar.
Who's it gonna be in race 8 and white?
Okay,
George?
all right. Sorry.
Get off your soapbox. Tell us who's gonna win.
No, I mean, all right. So I like Let Me In a lot. That workout that we just saw earned a B from Andy Harrington. Wonderful workouts. The best thoroughgraph numbers. That's not saying much. There's only three runners that have run. So, but of the runners that have run, has the best numbers. Of course, gets first time Lasix as a 3-year-old. Happy birthday to Let Me In and all the runners in this race. So it's going to be my top pick. And Mr. Machu Picchu just keeps teasing us with a win, but he just can't win. So I'm gonna put him second. So 6-5 is gonna be for me in the 8th.
George, before we take a look at race number 9, we're talking about events out here at Sandy. I just want to kind of look ahead to some upcoming events. We've got Burgers and Brews trackside on the weekend of January 11th and 12th. January 11th is Cal Cup Day, by the way. I believe 4 or 5 stakes races. California Wine Festival on Pegasus World Cup Day. One of your favorites, the Wiener Corgi Nationals are in mid-February.
I love those.
Talk to us a little bit about the Wiener Corgi Nationals, because you're out there kind of conducting the preliminaries in the infield and then bringing the finalists onto the main track. There's just so much enthusiasm, and like you said, people are just having so much fun, and they occasionally drift over to the window and make a bet as well.
They do, yeah, and it draws a big crowd, and they are so. They love the dog racing, and they're usually really upbeat and positive and happy, and
it's not
it's just a
sanctioned,
wonderful
but we take
event.
Wagering on the Corgi Nationals and Eddie Logan. Body language, and
I put a morning line out. I put a morning line on the finals. It's always fun to put up a morning line, but those events are going to be great, and we got great events, regular events throughout, like Free Fridays, and the Golden Pub's got great deals as well. So you can watch all the games today. You can watch all the games. We got some big football games today.
Well, we've got legal wagering in race number 9 to close out the day, including $1 super high 5 wagering. We're sprinting 6 furlongs on the turf course. $25,000 is the claiming tag. Great way to end the card. We've got a field of 10. Morning line favorite number 5, Cane Creek Road from the Peter Miller Barn, is a 3-1 morning line favorite. Give us a winner to close it out, George.
All right, I've been pretty chalky all day, but I really like hacking it up here. Race number 2, as you mentioned. Papa Dromo he's just really doing so well. And this runner really perked up on September 24th with a really sharp thoroughgraph number 9 and won that race. And George thought enough of him to put him in the $100,000 California flag. It was a really tough race and ran admirably, very good with Ayuso, getting to know him that day. And I think that this drop in class is going to be just what the doctor ordered. 8-1, hacking it up is going to be my top pick. And what makes Sammy run always comes with a strong late kick. So he's one of those that you could always use in the exotics underneath. And, he got up to win last time, which is rare. But you could always count on him to be like second or third. But I think hacking it up at 8-1, dropping from the big $100,000 stakes race, is going to be my top pick.
And George, one subtle handicapping angle on your top choice, number 2, hacking it up with George Papadromo has already won with already this meet, is hacking it up last time in the stakes race. Of course, could not use Lasix. Re-adds Lasix today, a little bit of a subtle change in terms of the horse's use of medication. But Lasix back on. The reason why I mentioned that, if you have at least a short-term memory, Noble Reflection won the very first race here on opening day.
Yes.
Noble Reflection also re-added Lasix after dropping out of stakes races. We'll see if number 2, hacking it up, can repeat that in race number 9. Before we go, George, just a reminder of what the racing schedule looks like this week. Today, of course, we're racing with 9 races beginning at 12 noon. We're going to take tomorrow off Thursday, but then we resume on Friday. Of course, tomorrow will be open for simulcasting right here at San Anita, but no live racing. Then Friday, we've got 9 races at 12 o'clock noon Pacific time. And Saturday and Sunday, we'll start a little bit early at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's because, as we've been talking about, 10 races each of those days. So noon today, noon Friday, and then 11:30 Saturday and Sunday. George, thanks so much for your time and insight. Happy New Year. Best wishes for a happy, healthy, and profitable New Year. Always a pleasure having you on the seminar.
Great to be here, TQ.
Nothing but best wishes for all of you watching as well. Happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for supporting the San Anita product. Hope you have a great day of racing, everybody, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Happy New Year and welcome to Santa Anita Park, where the track is fast and the turf course is firm. The track conditions are brought to you by John Deere. Here are the changes. In the first, start of the early pick 5, no scratches or jockey changes. There are no changes in race 2, where we offer early pick 4 wagering. No changes in the third. No changes in the fourth, start of the $2 pick 6. In the fifth, number 9, Neon Lights make the jockey Edwin Maldonado. The $3 all-turf pick 3 also begins with the fifth. Race 6, start of the late pick 4, scratch 3, Talent for Gold. In the seventh, $3 late pick 3 wagering offered, no changes. The $5 late double with a 15% takeout starts with the 8th, no changes. And in the 9th race, some blinker notes with super high 5 wagering offered on the 9th and only the 9th race. Enjoy New Year's Day. Thanks for coming out for Dollar Day. $1 beers and sodas, $2 hot dogs this afternoon. We'll have the same offer on our special Monday program, January 20th. They'll be at the gate for race 1 at the Great Race Place in 28 minutes at noon.